Hello, this is Shamez Kassam with Northfront Financial. I'm here with Patricia Morgan from Solutions for Resilience, and we're going to share some tips today. Take it away, Patricia.
Right. Many people could use some tips on how to know you are stronger than you think. You are definitely resilient. Here are a few tips for you. Please keep yourself physically well. It's challenging when we're isolated in our homes, but we are given permission to go out in the local parks, to run around the block, and even run around your house. If you are privileged enough to have fitness equipment, keep using it. We want to keep this body strong. Watch the talk you're telling yourself. Please don't catastrophize. Don't exaggerate what's going on. Yes, it's challenging and you can manage it. You want to also monitor the information that you're taking in. Keep your social media and your television watching focused on actual facts. The World Health Organization is a good place for information, as well as your local health region. However, pay attention to how often you're going there. Maybe once a day is a good practice to check in to the practices that we're supposed to know about to make wise decisions. Notice your emotions. If you're starting to feel panicked or getting into too much fear, say it out loud. I'm feeling. Tell somebody. We've got phone, text, Zoom, all kinds of ways to connect to one another virtually. Please do that. It's also important for you to not start to feel lonely. So do make connections. Again, pick up the phone or get on a Zoom call or a Skype call, it doesn't matter, FaceTime, and have that sense of being connected. That will help you with social engagement. If you are living on your own, please reach out, say to somebody, I want connection. Even more, or even better, for those people that are living alone, make the call yourself to somebody else that you imagine is struggling in this time of isolation. But here are some tips, 3 tips to engage with your children in a healthy and resilient manner. One is to listen to how they are feeling. Identify what they're feeling. It looks like or sounds like you're feeling scared right now, or perhaps you're feeling lonely, missing your friends. After listening, a child's feelings will calm down. Then you can engage in problem solving. What can we do to look after that feeling? Maybe we do FaceTime with the friend you're missing from school. The second piece with kids is for you to answer their questions. Not overshare, but developmentally, the questions a child asks, they are capable of hearing the answer. So answer it as clearly and honestly as you can. Last but not least, model being resilient. Find strategies that work for you. And we're back to mommy needs some time out, daddy needs time out for self-care. That's it for me. Over to you, Shamez. People are stressed out about their finances. We're watching our investments sink. We're going, some of us, into hysterics. What can we do?
Well, thanks so much, Patricia, for your amazing practical tips. I've got a couple of slides I put together, which I'm going to just to bring up now momentarily here. And yeah, I'll go through some tips with you. So I think investors should be really looking to how big pension funds like the Canada Pension Plan invest, because they are experts at having lower volatility portfolios. And I'm going to show you exactly what they do. So firstly, let's talk about most individuals. Most of us have sort of a very simple, what I call 2-bucket investment portfolio, which consists of, call it 60% in stocks, 40% in bonds, and for those of you who are not familiar, bonds are a form of fixed income. So this is a typical 2-bucket portfolio. Okay, now if we look at pension funds, this is what they do. They have a 3-bucket portfolio. They have 35% in stocks, they have 25% in bonds or fixed income, and the rest of their money on average, 40% is in alternative investments, which have more consistency, less volatility, and more income. And so, what are alternatives? They are things like real estate, airports, solar power plants, wind farms. So these are assets that are less sensitive to the overall economy. The challenge is they are very hard to access, and most investors and even their investment advisors do not necessarily know about them. So what individuals can do is really look at this new style of investing used by pensions. And these are some of the pension plans around the world that invest this way. Canada Pension Plan, Ontario Teachers Pension Plan, AIMCO, and I don't know if you knew this, Patricia, but I used to work at AIMCO, Alberta Investment Management, and that's where I got familiar with these pension fund investments. So that's one thing I would strongly recommend. Now, the other thing that all individuals should be looking at right now is estate planning. Now, about half of Canadians do not have a current will. And also, most people make the mistake of thinking that estate planning is only about what happens to my stuff when I pass away. But it's important. It's a lot more than that. And a big part of estate planning is making sure your family is legally empowered to make decisions for you if you are in a life or death situation. And so everybody needs a will, but a power of attorney and a personal directive as well. So for everybody who's listening here, I have a gift that is called the Willing Wisdom Index. You can reach out to me to get a complimentary access code. What this is, it's a 10-minute estate planning questionnaire, and it's done online, and it will give you a totally confidential report on your estate plan and what gaps might be in it. So this is a very valuable tool. And last thing, this is a copy of my book I put out a few years ago, Your Money's Worth. There's some good resources in there as well, so people can check that out. And lastly is my contact information. If you want to find out more about any of these things, please reach out anytime. And what's the best way for people to contact you, Patricia?
Well, I'll put up on the screen my website address, but if you Google Patricia Morgan, Solutions for Resilience, that's Patricia Morgan, Solutions for Resilience, you'll find me online, and I've got an article on resilience to this pandemic blog all ready for your listeners.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. All the best, and wish you all the best of health.
Thank you. You too, Shamez. Bye-bye.
Bye.